I want to make you a promise right now that if you stick around to the end of this video and follow the 2 experiments and practices I'm going to give you, that you will feel so much clarity, confidence, and connection as a multi-passionate creative. Because I know what it's like to be you. I know what it's like to have so many passions and to be good at all of them. And to feel the challenge of not knowing what to focus on, where to devote my energy, or what's my greater purpose beyond all of these things that I'm good at. So I invite you to settle in, grab a notebook and piece of paper, and be present. And I want to give you a fair warning that I use the F word often and have some very edgy opinions and practices that are not talked about here on YouTube. So if you have an open heart, an open mind, and are ready to become more embodied as a multi-passionate creative, you are in exactly the right place. So I really want to begin about some personal story of my own struggle with being a multi-passionate. You know, I've done so many different ventures in life, and most of them through the lens of creative business. I shaped and glassed surfboards. I was making surfboards for a living, and then I got into furniture design, and then I got into metalworking and sculpture, and then I got into architecture, and then I got into coaching and writing and leading workshops, and then I got into consulting and creative strategy. I've had so many different iterations of my passions and how they move through me that it just became very difficult to know, what am I supposed to actually be doing, and why the heck am I always so exhausted? And although I was good at all of these things, I feel like I struggled to really be great at them and to find the success that I craved, because I didn't have anybody that was a few steps ahead of me to ask me good, curious questions, to help give me frameworks to experiment with. Because if you're anything like me, you hate doing what other people say you should do, but you're really open and curious to try things on for yourself and see how they feel, you know? So my whole process with this YouTube channel, and also the Embodied Creator Toolkit, which is my course, is to help you discover for yourself through experiments what it feels like to give yourself devotion, to give yourself clear containers, to meet your edges. Because when you do that for yourself, you have such a stronger foundation than someone else telling you what to do, right? And that's part of the reason why I've been such a multi-passionate, and why maybe you are too, as you just never wanted to fit the mold of whatever other people said you should be. So you said, fuck it, I'm going to figure it out for myself, and here you are, fucking up and recommitting and fucking up again and recommitting and so on and so forth, right? So the first practice that I want to resource you with that will help you just become more energetically aware of what you're actually holding in your system, because the nervous system is such a huge component of what it means to be embodied and clear as a creative. The problem is we just don't know the invisible load that we are carrying in our nervous system, in our energetic body, in our mental body, right? So this exercise will help you get clear on, holy shit, these are all the background apps I'm running in my life. No wonder why I can't make a decision. No wonder why I'm indecisive, why I feel exhausted, why I'm just not feeling as inspired as I used to. So this practice is called the avoidance list. And it's a detailed practice I give in my Embodied Creator Toolkit. So if you love this, you'd be sure to check that out. But the avoidance list is the exact opposite of the to-do lists, because I've found to-do lists to be very not helpful. I often will write a to-do list and do everything but those things, you know. I would avoid the to-do list. So I found it more helpful for my nervous system to really get honest about, what am I actively avoiding right now? What are the big things? What are the small things I'm avoiding? Because so much of life is built on what we are emotionally avoiding, what we're avoiding doing, what we're avoiding accepting. And the prerequisite to any deep transformation is full radical acceptance. So this means shining a light on all the little crevices where you are avoiding. So the avoidance list is exactly that. Instead of a to-do list, write out 1 to 10, 1 to 20, whatever it is, what you are currently avoiding right now. And you can start off as superficial as you'd like, but I'd encourage you to get progressively more deep. I am avoiding paying my taxes right now. I am avoiding having a hard conversation with my best friend. I am avoiding finally getting the proper licensing that I need so that I can do this type of work. I am avoiding meeting my fear of failure. I am avoiding keep going on. So I encourage you to take 2-3 minutes, which is all it takes, right? I know you're busy, but you have enough time to sit for 3 minutes and fucking write the things that are taking up all of your energy so that you can fully acknowledge them, right? So do this practice for as long as it takes you. Write until you cannot write anymore. A great way that I like to encourage people to approach this is if you lift your pencil up, or your pen, I use pens. If your pen lifts up from the paper, you're not doing it right. Don't think, just feel. Just keep writing. Keep writing. Even if it doesn't make sense, just keep writing until you really have to think and stop. I want you to get into your body and express what's true from your body. The more that you can get down to core emotions, the better off you're going to be, right? So the premise of this experience is for you to actually just really sit with all of the avoidances in your life right now. Those could even be, I am avoiding a future of feeling like a failure. But the premise of this exercise is for you to understand, imagine those all as background apps. Imagine all of those things as apps that are taking your precious creative energy away without you consciously realizing it. But now you're aware, so you can be responsible, right? As I like to say, you're not to blame, but now you are responsible. So you have the empowered choice. What's the best I can do right now with what I now know? How can I best move forward with what I know? So the second step to this exercise, this experiment, is to pick one thing on that list. And I encourage you to not pick the easy thing. I encourage you to pick the scary thing and to do the scary thing and feel what becomes available in you. If you need to have a resentment clearing conversation with your best friend, call them, text them, say, hey, I would love to get together and have an intentional conversation. There's some things I'd love to express to you. Is that something you are open to? I know that's scary as heck, but consider how much energy that's taking up in your system right now and how that's impacting your ability to show up in the world and to give your gifts. Imagine how that's impacting your presence, right? And if you've been here before in this space, you know that I'm an unwavering stand for your greatest gifts being your deep presence. Deep presence is what the world craves. And if you are not fully here, if you're stuck in mental land looping the stories of resentment for your best friend, just going with this example, you are not here. So my goal is to help you become fucking here, right? My goal is to help you be so radically present and in your body and acknowledging all of these places where, man, I can sharpen up. And to do so tenderly and with grace so that you can really learn to love those places. Because those things that you're avoiding, there's an emotion that you're avoiding. And if you feel stuck, it's because there's an emotion that's stuck. And the premise of getting unstuck in life, of having more clarity and direction, is to find what emotion am I now allowing myself to fully feel. And feeling it, which means loving it. Not trying to get rid of it, not trying to get beyond it, but to radically love it, right? Because when you are fucking so open and in love with even those denser textures of yourself, you are so powerful, right? You are courageous. You're meeting your edges. You are going boldly into the places that are really scary to go. You know, there's a phrase in men's work that I'm really fascinated by right now, because men's work has been a huge part of me being a multi-passionate. I'm now a men's work leader. The phrase is, you fuck the world open with your love. You fuck the world open with your love. But we can't do that when we don't love those parts of ourselves, right? Those corners that we're avoiding. Those things that we don't want to do because they're scary. We lose a lot of our power and courage in our capacity to give our creative gifts, to impact the world, to literally penetrate the world with our creativity to make a more beautiful world possible through our offering. We don't have access to that when we do not have access to our full feeling body, when our nervous system is stuck in survival, right? So to tie a bow on this experiment, your nervous system doesn't feel safe stepping up and being seen and focusing on one thing because it's worried about the 20 things that you're avoiding, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. So the more that you can become whole and lean into what you are avoiding, the more you become so much more resourced to meet the world with presence and fullness, which I don't care what it is that you do, it's going to double your aliveness, your productivity, the way you receive, the amount of money that you make. You know, I've just seen it so many times and times and times again that I have an overwhelming amount of evidence for the more that you are present and the more that you love all of these flavors of you, and you can lead with a regulated nervous system, the world is going to respond so gosh darn beautifully, right? So if you feel stuck as a multi-passionate creative, it's time to lean into the emotions that are scary to lean into, right? It's time to embrace the edges that you know you need to embrace so that you can expand to become all that you can be, right? This isn't a quick fix. It's not something that I can tell you to just do and you do it today and you're a changed person. Like, this is long, deep, and awkward work. But I guarantee you that if you do this practice, that if you commit to yourself and allow yourself to go deeper than you've allowed yourself to go, you will find the clarity that you're looking for. You will find the connection to yourself that you're looking for, and you'll find the courage to be confident. And all of those things will be expressed through your work. They will transform the way that you show up. But the thing is, you can't hide anymore. You have to take full responsibility, and you have to do the scary thing, right? I'm here to help point you in the right direction, to give you these practices, but you have to do them. And if you want even deeper facilitation to where you can be held a little bit more with some more guided experiments, I invite you to check out the Embodied Creator Toolkit. It is a great resource for you to go at your own pace and run these experiments and see what you find. And be sure to sign up for my newsletter, because you'll be the first to know about all my new offerings and the community I'm working on creating for y'all, so you can all be together while you build your multiple passions. And just stay tuned on this channel for more updates on solving the problems that you will encounter as multi-passionates, because there's plenty of challenges and it's not supposed to be easy, and that's a feature, not a bug, right? So thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.